Hello, Yvonne. My name is Lou Bella. Growing up, everyone expected me to be loud, sassy, and tough. The strong black woman stereotype. But I was quiet, I spoke softly, I didn't curse. And I cried when animals were hurt or trees were cut down. The other girls called me white, said I wasn't black enough, and wouldn't be my friend. I got picked on and even beaten a few times just for being gentle. I still have that same gentle spirit today. I'm a Pisces. This is how I'm made. I'm not going to change to fit anyone's stereotype.
Hello. I'm Priya in my Asian culture. Girls are taught to be quiet, gentle, respectful, and avoid conflict. To keep harmony in the family, I was naturally that way. Soft-spoken, calm, and sensitive. But when I came to America or entered school and work, people treated my gentleness as a problem. They called me too quiet, too passive, too submissive. Teachers and bosses said I needed to be louder and more aggressive to succeed. I was overlooked and teased because people assumed I couldn't lead or speak up. My softness was seen as weakness. But it is not. It is my strength.
Sarah from Brooklyn. Hi, I'm Sarah from Brooklyn, where I grew up. People expect women to be loud, direct, and tough. If you're soft-spoken and gentle, they look at you like something is wrong with you. Guys especially expected me to have that loud, sassy energy. When I spoke softly and stayed kind, they got confused and didn't know how to act. I've been teased and misunderstood my whole life just for being gentle. But there is nothing wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with being soft.
Hello everyone, I'm Joey. I have a younger brother. When we were growing up, my friends and I were into wrestling, football, martial arts, and weightlifting. My little brother was different. He loved reading books, drawing, playing music, and sitting quietly under a tree. We teased him and picked on him. I thought it was strange for a boy to be that way. I'm older now, and I realize I was wrong.
I'm his younger brother. Yes, they picked on me, other boys at school did too. I didn't want to fight or act tough. I wanted to be a science teacher, play piano and paint. For a long time, I felt like I was broken. But I wasn't. I'm David. I grew up quiet, soft-spoken, and gentle. From a young age, boys are taught that real men don't cry, don't show emotions, and must always be tough. If you're sensitive or gentle, other boys call you weak, soft, or say you're not a real man. I heard it constantly, in school, on the sports field, even at home. I tried to hide who I was and act tough for years, but it almost broke me inside. The pressure on boys and men to never show gentleness is much heavier than most people realize. I'm done hiding. There is nothing wrong with being a gentleman.
I'm Michael. I've always been a gentle, soft-spoken man. I believed in treating my partner with kindness, patience, and respect. But some women saw that gentleness as an opportunity. They targeted me because they knew I wouldn't fight back or raise my voice. I experienced emotional abuse, constant criticism, manipulation, and in some cases, physical harm. I stayed quiet for a long time because I felt ashamed, like a man shouldn't be in that position. Many people didn't believe me or told me to just be tougher. Gentle men can be targeted in relationships, and it's not our fault. We deserve safety and respect too. If you're a gentle man going through this, you are not alone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Blake, clinical psychologist. Thank you for listening to these voices. Before the song begins, I want to explain something important, something psychology has known for decades, but society still refuses to accept. Gentleness is not weakness. It is not fragility. It is not a flaw. From a clinical standpoint, gentle people, men and women, tend to have higher emotional intelligence, better empathy and stronger relational bonds. Their nervous systems are wired for connection, not conflict, and that wiring is healthy. When a person is allowed to be gentle, their body releases hormones like oxytocin and serotonin, chemicals that lower stress, support the immune system, and protect the heart. But when someone is forced to toughen up, hide their emotions, or pretend to be hard, the body shifts into survival mode. Cortisol rises. Blood pressure increases. Anxiety builds, the brain becomes hypervigilant. Over time, this leads to burnout, depression, and emotional shutdown. The truth is simple. Gentleness is a form of strength. It takes self-control to stay kind. It takes courage to stay open. It takes emotional maturity to feel deeply in a world that tells you to feel nothing. So if you are a gentle man or a gentle woman, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not too much or not enough. You are wired for depth. You are wired for compassion. You are wired for connection. And that is a strength the world desperately needs. So if you've ever been made to feel less than because of your gentle spirit, this song is for you.
You carry the weight of
A world that's too loud, trying to force you to stand tall in a crowd. They wanted you hardened, they wanted you tough, but your quiet conviction has always been enough. You are not broken, you're not too small. Your steady, soft spirit is the strongest of all. You don't need armor to prove you're brave. Your gentle heart is the power this world needs to save. You look at their kindness and call it a flaw, like gentleness breaks some unwritten law. You mistake their silence for having no voice, but choosing compassion is a powerful choice. It takes a steel spine to hold on to grace, when anger is currency in this hardened place. Don't call them fragile, because they won't fight. It takes massive strength to keep holding the light. Here's to the gentle, the ones who feel it all. Soft isn't weak, it's the bravest thing of all. You don't have to harden, you don't have to pretend. Your gentle heart is power, and that power doesn't bend. They scream to be heard, I rule in the calm. Gentleness is my superpower bomb. You think they're bending, but they're the roots, holding the ground while the hurricane shoots. It's a superpower to look at the pain and choose to give shelter instead of the rain. While the world plays with fire, they master the cool, quietly breaking the heavyweight rule. That isn't weakness, it's God-tier control. The ultimate flex is a self-governed soul. They absorb all the static, they filter the noise, turning the chaos back into their poise. You can try to shake them, try making a dent, but they rise right back up where the shadows were sent. They're built out of something you can't even scratch, a fire of peace your rage can't match. They don't need to bark just to prove they can bite. They walk in the room and dismantle the night. They told you to toughen up, but you were strong the whole time. It takes courage to stay kind in a world that's out of line. You don't need armor, you don't need steel. Your softness is a superpower, and everything you feel is real. My heart is soft, my spirit is fierce, an armor of peace peace you cannot pierce. They thought you were targets, an easy mistake, counting the pieces they thought they could break. Behind closed doors where the shadows would grow, they weaponized love just to put on a show. But survivors don't shatter, they silently mend, rewriting the story where the cruel stories end. You survive the storm with your kindness intact. Staying soft after trauma is the ultimate act. You are not broken, you're not too much or not enough. Gentle doesn't mean fragile, gentle doesn't mean soft or weak or rough. You're allowed to want peace, you're allowed to feel deep. Your gentle heart is strength, and it's yours alone to keep. Not fragile, not weak. Power is the peace I speak. Let the world get loud, let the world get wild. You stay rooted like a mountain, soft and undefiled. Let them swing their anger, let them throw their shade. You rise above the noise they made, unshaken, unafraid. Your peace is a weapon, your calm is a shield. You win every battle without stepping on a field.
So here's to the gentle, the quiet, the deep, the kind. The ones the world misjudged, the ones the world couldn't define. Your softness is your superpower, your heart is your crown. Stay gentle in a world that's breaking, you're the ones who hold it down. Gentle is a power, not a flaw. Soft is steel, standing tall.